All right, I'm Patrick. I'm here outside the Phoenix with King Khan. How you doing?
Hello, greetings.
What-
I'm King Khan.
What can you tell me about voodoo power?
I can tell you lots about voodoo power.
Let's start.
In certain parts of Africa, albinos are used. Albinos are thought of as magical, mystical creatures,
Okay.
and their body parts are used for like potions to to help people make to help you get rich quick and these kind of potions.
Okay. Yeah.
And so actually, it's really dangerous to be an African albino, and
Harvest
because
their body parts and
they'll
stuff?
kill them and
Yeah.
they'll take their body parts. And some people say that albinos are ghosts of dead Europeans from the past,
Oh, really?
and that's why their livers and all that kind of stuff are so delicious.
Okay. So when did you first get into tarot card readings?
Tarot card readings, I started doing it as a joke
Yeah.
at a art gallery exhibit. And by the way, this is Ben Ra. He only speaks in sax. Say something. That means he has to go to the bathroom soon.
Right.
Anyways, so I started doing tarot cards because someone asked me to do something for an art exhibit in Berlin.
Yeah.
And I got these German tarot cards given to me, and I couldn't read German, so it looked very hokey.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'd be reading people's tarot, but then asking them what the card meant.
What is this? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in the reverse sense, it actually started working really well for me, and people were amazed at what I was saying about them
Was
analyzing the
actually-
cards.
Yeah.
So, and it was really spooky. There was a couple of really heavy moments I had.
What were some of the more accurate predictions?
Well, one really crazy one at that time was this one girl. She was 23 or something. Yeah, I think she's 23, 24, and she had like death was the center of her whole reading, and
Yeah.
And there was the moon and a couple other symbols, and I just mentioned that it seems that there was a big change that occurred in her life recently, and if you get something like the moon, then it's kind of you see visions of it in your dreams, right? And
Okay.
so I said that to her, and then she kind of started getting kind of pale
Yeah.
and was like, I can't believe you just said that. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, because her sister had just died, and
Oh.
and she was her like older sister by maybe 2 years,
Wow.
and so it was really like a big loss in her family.
Yeah.
But she had been kind of coping with it because her sister would come back in her dreams whenever she'd have something big happen in her life.
Yeah.
Like and she would be, so it kind of felt like she was still alive, but she'd be in her dreams.
Like lucid dreaming.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
That's-
And so, anyways, and that was all just kind of by chance when I was just doing them,
Yeah, and these were
randomly.
off the German cards too.
Yeah, exactly. And then I got really heavily into it, and then later on, I've had other really weird experiences with people just reading stuff, but I never charge money for it,
Okay.
and it's something I do as like for fun. I think of it more as like a healing thing, even
Yeah.
for myself. If I feel like I'm in a crappy mood or something like that, then I'll draw.
It is refreshing in a weird.
It is.
Yeah.
And you can kind of pinpoint, where you might be feeling bad.
That's cool. So, what's the premise behind the Cucamongas reading?
There was no real premise. It was
Yeah.
just like back in the day when we were young, the space shits and the deadly snakes.
Mhm.
We just, were touring together, and we had this kind of brotherhood that was going on, and then eventually we, decided to get kind of gang tattoos.
Nice.
And then the ideology of the Cucamongas was, it was something like we were all kind of ancestors from this, some strange mystical origin that, I would always say it was kind of like some kind of like Bo Diddley-esque kind of, black African
Yeah.
god that like made love to different women of different cultures and then spawned us, and we were the lost children of Cucamonga, and that we all got together and at the same time and started making, like, bringing back old like spiritual R&B music and mixing it with our own punk and stuff like that, and then traveling all over the world and spreading the message,
Yeah.
and spreading this message of Cucamonga, our father.
Awesome.
So it was something like a psychedelic tribe,
Yeah.
and it spread really great, and it kind of became the death cult.
Okay.
And since then there's been members in Brazil, in France, Germany, Spain, all over the place. It's pretty amazing.
Awesome. So what?
Except we don't have any Australians, and we don't want to have any
No, no. Why
Australians.
would you? Why would you?
No.